Hello, it's Denise with Heartside Tarot, and today I just wanted to do a video about my planner journey and my planners for 2021. Also, a little bit about how I use tarot for planning. And I'm going to try to not make this video too long, but I could talk about planners and tarot on and on and on. I think they're about my two favorite things. So, I'll try to keep it brief. So I have used a paper planner for ages and ages, and I found out about the bullet journal system in 2016, and I started my first bullet journal then, which I have somewhere, but I didn't keep it for very long, for various reasons, and I moved in and out of different pre-printed paper planners. That's kind of hard to say. And I tried other systems, and I really eventually I came back to the bullet journal because that was just it was the best for the way my mind worked. As much as I liked the idea of having everything already, printed out and I just had to fill it in. For me, the way my brain works, a bullet journal is just the best way to go. And I can appreciate that taking a little bit of extra time to set it up, but having something that works for me is a really good trade-off. And the way that I use my journal now, I feel is also kind of a creative outlet for me. So I'm very happy with how it's evolved for me over the years. So I had at the beginning of 2019, I did start a bullet journal, but I was also trying to use multiple other journals like Happy Planner and some other ones. And I would see, I always had this problem where I'd see a cute planner or a cute notebook, and I think, oh, I need that. And then I would do the thing where I try to invent a reason why I need that notebook, even if I really don't need it. I would, but I could use it for keeping track of all the different classes I'm taking, as I did do that. And so what I've learned from that experience is no, I am not really a multiple planner person. I really like having everything kind of in one book. And it's even gotten to the point where now in my bullet journal, I can't even have a separate homeschool planner. And thankfully, where we live, I don't need to have a separate records that I turn in, but I like to keep them for myself, and I do have to submit certain things. So I have combined my homeschool planner with my regular planner, and we'll see how that goes. But I just like having everything all in one. So a couple of things I have here. So I started back in 2019 in November was the first time I used a stology. This is just a B6 stology, and I'm sure I found out about this on YouTube, although I don't remember now how I found out about this, but I remember ordering it, and I remember being so excited when it came in. And I had this really gorgeous traveler's notebook cover that it was in with some other inserts, and I just really, there's my tarot for November. The same tarot reading that I do now is still, and I just use this as I just get into a journal and I just kind of move in and spread out, and I get color and collage and glue and paint everywhere, and it's so messy. And that's okay with me. I'm not trying to there's people that do the most gorgeous bullet journal setups, and I'm so inspired by them, but after a while I realized that's just never going to be how I do things, and I'm just okay with that because I like to just play around with color and stuff and just have fun. So I use this for some notes, for like little drawings, doodles, pictures, and I actually have my tarot reading for 2020. I did in this journal, and I actually kept this book out because I referred to this reading throughout the whole year of 2020, and I really got some good insight from this reading. So I'm pretty, I mean, it was really almost shocking, this reading and how it actually reflected my life over the year. So that was November and December and a little bit of January went into this book, and then I used it a little bit as a journal, and then I got to the end here and I didn't even finish it. And I think so. In January of 2020, I started buying a lot of Happy Planner things again, and I thought, no, this time I'm really going to use it. And they have all the things. They have the stickers and the the planners themselves and all the accessories, and it kind of became like this rabbit hole that I went down very, very briefly, but it was like, I mean, I spent a ton of money on that stuff, and then I realized, you know what? I I don't like the fact that the pages. I love Happy Planner and the disc bound system because you can move the pages around, but I also don't like it because, it doesn't feel as permanent as a book. So after a very, very brief Happy Planner time, about February of 2020, so very, very brief, I got into this book, and this is a I think it's Piccadilly brand, and I just found this at a local bookstore, and that's the only place I've seen it. I tried to find one to order online when this one got when I started to run out of pages, and I wasn't able to find it. So, and this one I just let me see. There's a lot of like personal stuff in here. So I just kind of, as you can see, it expanded. I didn't add in a whole bunch of pages. So in this one, let's see. Oh, I think there's some stuff. Yeah, this is okay. So, but I did do some collage and some painting, and I just, that's just how I wanted it to look. And I was using about a page a day for a while because I was doing the scripting where you write out how you want your day to go in the morning. And actually, I really liked that. And I liked having room for that. And then I, ran out of pages. And I thought about getting another journal, but I decided to try Traveler's Notebook because I love Traveler's Notebooks, and I love the different covers and all that kind of stuff. And so I decided to do the Traveler's Notebook thing, and I got this insert. This is a Tomoe River booklet that I got from JetPens, and I absolutely loved this. This was when I was doing runes and playing cards, and so I had a daily draw for runes and playing cards. I did a lot in here. I love the Tomoe River paper. I really liked all the things that I could add in, and I just loved painting on this particular paper, and I just had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in these books, but I filled in several of these. So I think this was September and October, and then I had one for November and December of this year. And then I just decided, I really like these, but I really enjoyed having a book that lasted longer than a couple of months. So I think I've figured out what I'm going to do for this year, and I am not guaranteeing that I will stick with it, but I'm going to give it a really good shot. And so I just wanted to briefly say, before I get into my bullet journal, that the base of my system this year in 2021 is it's called the HB90 Method, and I'll try to remember to put a link in the description box because it has really, I think, changed how I plan, and it's just been really amazing going through. And so this is just a Happy Planner cover, and the planner itself is printable. So I went through in December, and I did the HB90 boot camp for Q1 of 2021, and it really was eye-opening. And I have previously even used the undated version of the HB90 Method planner, and I still, until I did the boot camp in December, I really didn't I had a hard time, I think, deciding what my goals were going to be. And so this time I put a lot of effort into it, and I think it just really clicked for me this time. And I've actually already seen, even since I did this in December, I've already seen some forward progress toward my goals, and it's just amazing. And so I did all the pre-work from the boot camp, and then I have the HB90 Method planner for quarter 1. So this is a dated planner, and this is just the weekly one I have printed out. So I just printed this out on regular, this is the Big Happy Planner, so this is just regular letter paper. It was really easy, and I did all the goal setting. So there's a whole goal setting part to the method. So I did all the goal setting work, and then I also am using this to do my weeklies. So this is what I do at the end of every week. I go through and do the next week, fill it in for the next week, and then there's a little weekly recap that I'll do at the end of the week as well. And this is going to be the base of my planning, but I'm just not putting everything into my bullet journal from this, because I like having this with, it actually has all my goals written out, all the work that I did. It has a vision board and everything in here, and so I like keeping this all together. So this is like my weekly planner. And I know I said I'm not like a multi-planner person, but for me this is more like a weekly check-in. So this is like a weekly check-in and a weekly pre-planning, and I only and I leave it sitting open to the week on my desk. And I see it when I'm sitting down here, and I have my Kanban board set up that I did through this process, and I see that, and that's enough of a visual reminder of this, and I don't have to get into this book every day. I'm just in here a couple of times a week, and that is fine for me. But it's really been an amazing journey, and it's been really worthwhile. So let me just briefly say here, this is going to be my tarot journal for at least the beginning part of 2021. I've already had my struggles with this. I will talk about that probably in a different video, but this is an Archer and Olive journal. It has this cover on it that came in the quarterly subscription box, the Archer and Olive subscription box. And so I just kind of am starting to do like a bullet journal style. So I have this index because it's going to be more like a bullet journal style journal, although it has this gorgeous paper in here, and I just don't think that I quite understand how to make the best use of this paper, because it is really such nice thick paper. But I use a lot of watercolor, which soaks through, so I'm still working on that. So this is going to be my tarot journal. Now I don't have right now a separate journal, and I might end up including that, but I don't really know. Because right now I don't do like a lot of daily journaling. Although if I start doing morning pages again, I will rethink that. But right now, this is my planner. This is my 2021 planner right here. And so this is just another B6 Stology. And I like the paper okay. I like the Tomoe River paper better, but we're gonna see how this one goes. So I just I'm not gonna do a whole flip through. I'm just gonna go right to the tarot parts, trying to keep this video like a little bit of shorter. So, and I'm still working on it. And like I said, I get paint and everything everywhere, and it's just kind of, so my word of the year is creative. And then here's where, like right in the beginning, I start with my tarot. So for each year, and if I do another book later in the year, I won't go through all this initial setup, but this is the beginning of the year for me, and I always do my card of the year. And I'll have this, this time I used a copy of The Hermit from the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea, because I'm working with that deck at the moment, and it's a very interesting Hermit card. So I'm going to have to really think about this one. This whole deck. So I have, and this is just based on my birthday and the year, this year, 2021. So my card of the year is the Hermit this year, and so I did just a little journaling about that. And then I have my goals and these printables from Little Ida's notebook. Okay. And this, I do use this a lot, the lunar calendar, for my planning for my spell work and stuff, because it does list like the new moon and the full moon and stuff, and I like to have that here. So that's kind of important to my planning, tarot wise. But this is the next thing. So I have my card of the year, and then I do my yearly reading. And this is just a simple card for each month, and then a theme card. And the theme card for me this year is the Eight of Pentacles. And I am so happy. I was so nervous when I pulled these cards, because it really reflected my year so well last year. And so I pulled these cards, and I pulled the theme card, and it was the Eight of Pentacles. And I feel like that just is, it's so encapsulates like what I want this whole 2021 to be about for me. And I'm really excited actually about the Eight of Pentacles. And so this was like just a little journaling page on that. My Q1 goals are here. And so I have here my quarter one goals, my 3 goals, and my card pull for each of the goals. And at the bottom, my card to reflect how I can best reach my goals, which this time was Ace of Swords. So I will be reflecting on those. One of my things that I like to do is to review my goals every day. It sounds like a lot. It takes literally just 1 minute to look at my goals. And if I keep my mind on where I'm going, I feel like I get there better. So this page is actually very important. And then the tarot cards, I think that reflecting on those, I'm not sure. This is the first time I've used it with, like, done the quarter one goals and used it with that. So I'm going to see how the tarot cards actually help, and if I'll continue doing that in the future. And then this is just books that I plan on reading, and I'll fill those in with books that I've read once I've read them. It's crazy messy, I told you. Here we go. And yes. Okay. So the next tarot section is my daily draw. And this is the way that I set it up. I basically just draw in another smaller calendar, and I'll fill that in with the cards. Sometimes I'll color code them by suits. Sometimes I don't. Lately what I like to do is, if it's a numbered card, I'll write the number really big and then write the suit underneath it smaller. And I'm starting to look at number patterns. So, and even writing the number for the major arcana cards. And I'm looking right now in my life, I'm starting to notice and look for like number patterns and learn more about numerology. And so that's how I'm filling this in this month, or how I will be filling it in. A lot of times I'll go through at the end of the week and then write down my daily draws and fill this part in. And so then here I have my monthly reading. Again, it's the same reading I've been doing for like a year now. It's the same 5-card reading I came up with ages ago, and it's the overall situation this month, what I'm bringing in from last month, the outcome of this month's energy, what's going on under the surface, and a message and advice from my guides. And then I do a little bit of journaling on this, and I try to review this a few times during the month to help me see how it's actually fitting in with my life and how things are unfolding. And then this is my card of the month, and I keep it here so that I can see it every time I come to fill this in. This month for me, it's the star, which really reflects, I think, the hope that I have for this new year, and how, I hope that things will work out, because I always think of the star as hope. So that is that is there. And I do write like a little bit on the back. And what I'll do with this and also my weekly card is I just kind of meditate on it a little bit before the month. I'll meditate a little bit on this. I'll write a few things on the back and then I'll just kind of glance at it. It's just like a visual reminder, and I don't really need to spend a lot more time with it, but it does help me. And this is more like an overall look. And then when I get to the weekly card, so then this is my weekly card. This week it is the Three of Pentacles, and I do the same thing. I do a little journaling on the back, just tiny bit. And then this for me is more of a focus, where the monthly card is more of how I think the month is, generally like an overview of what I can expect from that month, so I feel prepared. This for me is more of a focus card. So when I pull this card and I say, what can be my focus this week? What can I work on this week? So this gives me almost more of a guidance. Where the stars, my monthly card, is something like I can expect to see as a theme for that month. This is not so much a theme for the week, although I guess it could be, but is more of what can I focus on. So that's kind of how I look at my weekly card. And then I just put that on my weekly spread, and that's all the journaling I do about that. I mean, if I felt like I needed to do more, I would put it in my tarot journal. But I like to have this here in my planner so that I can see it during the week and remind myself of what my focus is. Or if it was a more negative card, then I could think, well, what can I do to kind of make a more positive spin on this energy? You know, what can I do to, if it looks like I'm going to be in a funk, or, you know, not feeling, you know, my mood's going to be really low, like what could I do to kind of lift myself up, you know, and think before the week starts about that, and then go into the week feeling like I have some action steps. So then I have daily pages, and so then each day I'll have like a card of the day, which I'll put on the top of the page, and then on the bottom I'll do a little journaling. Usually the next day I'll go back through and think what stood out to me that day. So for this day I got this cover. I've already beat it up pretty bad, but I got my Chic Sparrow cover, and so when I go back through and I'll say, look, you know, I pulled the Emperor card, which to me is a card of organization, structure, and I got this Traveler's Notebook cover, which is to me part of my organizational planning system. So to me, I can see a connection between that and the Emperor card. And then this day, I pulled the Fool, which I've been getting a lot lately, which is good. I think that's a good thing. But I pulled the Fool, and then we took the kids out to try out their scooters that they got for the holidays. And so to me, like going out on an adventure with the scooters, like being playful, that to me connects with the Fool. So I kind of do that every day. I'll write down a little journal thing, and then I'll go back and see if I can see a connection between my card of the day and what happened that day. I don't necessarily journal about how the card affected me. I just put a couple of things about my day and then see if that connects with the card. To me, that just when I go back through, I can kind of see what was happening in my life, but then I can also see the connections. So that's just what I do for every day. And then, so then this is something I just started doing this month, because I've just started kind of pre-planning the decks that I want to study and use for the year. I don't know if I'll necessarily be able to stick with that, but it's helping me to see what decks I have time to use, and hopefully not to buy so many, because I do have so many that I don't get a chance to work with all the ones I want to. So this is kind of a time budgeting thing as well. And I have here the decks I'm going to be using as reading decks, and I actually have to add a couple here because I just got the Tarot of Mystical Moments and the Fargo Spiritum deck that I want to try to use as reading decks. So I'll add those in, and then that will probably be all for this month, because and I run out of space. And then my study deck is the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. And then I'll also need to add in, I have another Oracle deck coming in that I want to try to use. And then I'm using the Messenger Oracle. And then some tarot related books that I want to either try to read or start working with. For example, Tarot for Yourself is something I feel like I'm going to be working with throughout January, but probably into February, because I don't have as much time to sit down and work with it, and I'm trying to be more realistic about what I can get done. And then courses, I have several tarot related classes and courses I've signed up for that I haven't finished. So one of my goals is to just really go in and finish all those. And so I have one that I've picked to try to finish this month. And then here is something I'm doing that's new. And then this is new to me, and this is reading notes. So all the readings that I do for other people, just writing the day and the name of the spread and the decks that I used. And then if I have any specific notes, like for this reading, I wrote, I didn't really like the spread. And I didn't. And that's good to know, because sometimes I'll think, oh, I used that one before, and I won't remember if I liked it or didn't like it. I'll just remember that I used it. And so this just helps me to kind of be able to go through and say, I used that one before. What did I? Oh, yeah, I didn't really like that one, or if I didn't say anything, then it's probably okay. But that will just, and I think I'm going to have to add in a page, because I'm already like here, and I'm going to try to maybe write one line. I don't know, but I'm only on January 2nd. I started a little bit early. I started on the 27th in this book, because I was already using the dailies then. So then I have, I'm working on making myself an oracle deck, a personal oracle deck. So I have some notes for that, but then my homeschool stuff, it's not really, so this is not really tarot. This is just some spell work stuff, but so this is a tarot reading I did. I'm doing some spell work to help me to achieve some of my goals. And what I'm doing for this was, one of the goals that I am working with, I did a tarot reading for. And this was really interesting, because I did this reading and I saw that, so the first question is, what is my why behind this goal? And when I was writing out my reading, I thought, you know what? I need to rethink my why. My why is not strong enough. I think that sometimes not knowing what my why is, I know it's kind of cliche now, but really knowing why I want to achieve my goal is one of the best ways for me to stick to what I need to do to get there. And so I did this reading, and I'm like, gosh, I don't think I like what I'm writing down for my why, and doing the rest of the spread. And I've really been doing a lot more thinking about this goal and my why, and I think that's going to really help me to achieve my goal. So this is the last thing. This video is getting so long. Oh my gosh, planners, I love them. Okay, so this is my 2021 Wheel of the Year spread. So I have this kind of set up based on a diagram that I saw in the book Fairy Wicca, which I have, and I just really liked how they set up the Wheel of the Year with the dark half and the light half. So I just drew this in, and then I wrote down like the solstices and equinoxes, and then like other holidays. And I decided, I was trying to remember, I think it was Meadowlark Mystic, and I saw a video on that YouTube channel, and she had her Wheel of the Year set up, and she had pulled a card for each of the, I want to say the holidays, because the word I want is not coming to me, but for each of the days in the cross quarter days, and she had pulled a tarot card, and so I was really inspired by that, and so I did basically the same thing, where I just kind of wrote those out and pulled a card for each of those, and put those in here so that as I go through the year in 2021, I'll have this to refer to, and I will be able to pull this card and kind of use it to either do some journaling or just kind of as a, looking it up and seeing how it's reflecting this time of the year for me. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out. This is the first time that I've incorporated tarot into the Wheel of the Year. So that is my 2021 planner and how I have tarot in there. So I use tarot. if you haven't noticed, I use tarot every day. I use tarot almost in every aspect of my life. It's a really useful tool for self-reflection and contemplation, and I do use it also for prediction. So I use it a lot. I try to not depend on it. So I won't do a lot of readings on one theme. I won't do that because I feel like I don't want to become dependent on the tarot to like live my life, but I do use it a lot, and I use it a lot in my planner, and I feel like it's just really kind of a stepping off point for a lot of good ideas that I've had, a lot of journaling. It's always, if I get stuck on anything, it's always easy to just pull a card and kind of go from there and see what I can discover. So it's just tarot is just such an important part of my day-to-day life and my planning. So if you're still here at the end of this incredibly long video, I just wanted to say, reflecting as I have been on a lot of things, and after taking some time off of YouTube, I do these videos because they're fun, and I like talking to people about the things that I'm interested in, and I am just beyond grateful that people take the time to watch these videos and find them interesting. And so if you're still here and watching this video, just know that I really appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. And I hope to see you again in the next video, and I hope you're having a fabulous start to your 2021. I can't believe it's 2021. Whew. All right, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye.